Why hello there everyone and welcome back to Foundry. Now just briefly before we get right into the video, as you may have noticed I have decided to start a new game. The reason being for this is that in my last playthrough, as I was still learning, I quickly realised I was making quite a few mistakes and I could optimise it a little bit more. So instead of deleting everything and starting all over again, I decided to start a completely new game and I have made quite a few improvements. So far at the moment I have done is pretty much completed tier 1. I've got the research lab tier 1 complete. I'm just waiting for a few more parts on the research lab 2, but I have got everything pretty much automated, all the core components anyway. So let's head over and get our research lab 2 all finished off and built. We'll finish construction of that, so that's all done now. So we've got access to steel, science pack 2s and advanced machinery parts. So let's see what we need for the science pack 2s. So we need conveyor belts and building blocks. Okay, so we have quite a few conveyor belts and we've also got quite a few building blocks as well. Now what I might do, instead of taking them out of my storage for my conveyor belts and building blocks, I'm going to probably build another miner over this way and a smelter over here. So okay, let's start off by getting some building blocks. We'll get our foundations built for our expansion. So what we'll do is we will expand this way, sort of go, yeah, we'll go quite far out over here somewhere. That should be fine. I'm going to pretty much extend all the way out there, fill this gap over here. That is perfect. So there we go. Got a nice massive bit of expansion going on here. Okay, so I've moved my miners down to here so they can mine a bit deeper. But what I've kind of decided to do, I've got kind of a little bit of an empty space under here. So what I might do is extend the foundations under here. I've had to put a transformer to transfer power down to this grid here. So now I've got 2. I'm thinking about extending this foundation down here underneath here just a little bit, and what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to have my smelters and all my assemblies for the science pack 2s. I'm going to have them down here so they're out of the way, because once they're all built I can just leave them to do what they're going to do. So I think that's going to be the plan. So let's get this cleared out. Now we've got that cleared out a bit, we should be able to extend pretty far over here now, and then we can come straight out of here, straight into the back of the second research lab. So what I'm probably going to do is maybe start here. I'm just going to go out this way, get our miner down, get our loader just there, get our conveyor belts built down sort of this direction. So there we go, that's our first little task done. Okay, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of digging, so clear some area over here because it's going to be pretty difficult to try and fit anything in here, to be honest with you. Okay, so that's our science pack 2s all automated, so they're crafting quite nicely in our assembler and they're going up to our research lab 2. So let's find out what we want to prioritize. I think we'll prioritize our assemblers actually. We'll get them researched because they don't take too much. And what I'm going to do actually straight away is I'm going to change our assemblers. The assembler 2s are quicker than the assembler 1s, 1.5 speed. So we need steel ignots and we need xenoferrite ore, which is easy enough, we can get them, and an ignium ore. Okay, so ignium ore is a new resource. Yes, I remember now. I actually managed to find some ignium ore quite early on. I found it over here. I dug myself a nice little cave over here, all the way down here, so quite deep. I found some ignium ore. So let's see what we need to be able to mine this, shall we? Okay, so to mine ignium, we can do underground mining right here. But first we need to research the freight elevator 1, which is this one over here, which we need the elevator for. Okay, so let's go ahead and craft our elevator or research it, and then what we need to do is research the freight elevator straight after that, and that will allow us to be able to get the underground ignium. Is I reckon we're going to have to just get a drone miner down here and do it like that for the start, just to get some in the process. And so our research for our elevator is done, so now we have the research unlocked for the freight elevator. So we'll get that research in as we speak, and I've also dug a nice big hole all the way down to our ignium ore. I've also put some foundations down there, so we should be ready as and when our elevator is going to be built. So let's see what we need to build our elevator. So we need quite a lot of xenoferrite plates and machinery parts. We'll do 30 of them, and let's get this elevator crafted. So we'll just do one for now. Right, okay, so character elevator acts as a common elevator elevator or characters may travel to different configurable floors. After initial configuration, the elevator can automatically build itself and dig its shaft as necessary. Alright, okay, that's good. The elevator has a connected high voltage cable along its side. You can connect cables to every station, so that acts as an easy solution to convey high voltage power up or down. It carries the voltage down with it, which is very good. It doesn't need power to function. Alright, okay, so let's go for something along the lines of here. That should do pretty much perfectly. Okay, so let's rename this top, which is a height of 141, which is what we're at the moment. So configure that one, and then we need an add station. So I want this as ignium. I think if I remember rightly, it was 97. Right, okay, so we need to do that at 95 then, not 95, 97, should we say? 97 is good. So that is building its way down. Lovely. And we've just completed the research for the freight elevator as well, so that's pretty much perfect. So let's extend our power lines now. Let's put our power lines there, and we'll put our poles there. There we go. We now have power to our elevator, which should be putting power down to the bottom. Okay, current station height top. So if we just click IGN, we should head on down, see what this elevator is all about. Oh wow, look at that. And here we are at the bottom, and yes, we have arrived pretty much exactly where I wanted it, to be honest. That is pretty perfect there. So our freight elevator then, what I'm probably going to do is put that directly next to it. So let's get our research open and see what else we can research. Now, do we go for the underground mining of the ignium? So yeah, we're going to just have to make some drone miners down here for the moment, and then just have the freight elevator. So let's head on back up to the top. Let's see what we need to craft our freight elevator, shall we? So that just takes plates, machinery parts, and electronic components. So I reckon we should get that built. So we'll craft one of these. That was pretty simple. That's done. So we'll get that built next to our personal elevator. Let's read about these freight elevators then. So the freight elevator allows vertical transportation of items. It's intended to be used in cases where using conveyor belts would be inconvenient. It consists of two parts, a top and a bottom part. They're both built with the same item by switching the mode with the radial menu. It does not matter which part you place first. After placement, you will get a highlighted area. Image below indicating where the elevator shaft will be, pointing towards it, the opposite part. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Let's go for a bit more space then, as we can put loaders and bits and pieces there. So I reckon we should drop it right there, and then we can head on down all the way down to here, and we should be able to see it. Yes, there we go. So I just need to dig out this limestone a bit, and we should be able to see the bottom of the freight elevator. We can now build the bottom of it. That's nice and simple, so we'll pop that there, and there we go. We have a freight elevator apparently. Okay, so I've got a little temporary setup made down here until I figure out how to actually mine these automatically, except for by hand. I've got a little logistics container here just to see how the lift works. So let's mine a couple of these ignium ores, and we'll pop them in the container, and we will see what happens, because they should in theory go out like so, and they're going into the elevator, looks like it. And I've got the same, I've got a little loader and a conveyor belt at the top, so let's head up to the top. So here we are at the top, and if we click this to output, we should be seeing our ignium ores, but apparently not. So that's interesting. So where is it all going then? I'm rather confused at how this elevator's working. Aha, so I figured it out. So basically I had to manually dig this hole. As you can imagine, it took me quite a while because it is pretty tall. So the freight elevator, unlike the personal elevator, it doesn't automatically dig it out for you. As you can see there, it is working perfectly fine. What I think we're going to have to do is just need to get an induction smelter, and I think we just need to manually mine for a bit and manually load it just to get some steel beams, basically, just so we can get our assemblers and our drone miners upgraded, because I think that's going to be extremely key for at this moment in time. There we go. We should have that pretty much all simple. That should be crafting our steel beams, but we'll have to just manually do some mining on the ignium at the moment. But hopefully by the time I've mined a load of ignium, we should have the drone miner, and we can see what we can do with the drone miner too, whether it's just literally quicker than these, which if it is, we'll get some of them built. So I think we'll leave that one there, guys. Thank you everyone for taking the time to watch the video. If you did like it, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you drop a comment down below to let me know your thoughts on the new factory, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any more content. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one.